Hey, welcome back to my channel. I want to focus this video on an issue that's going around the forums right now regarding sheared prop bolts. The commonality appears to be with the Whirlwind Props, which are a common prop issued with the or available for the S21 kit, and also with the RANS S21 in general. First of all, I am not an expert in any of this. I'm just bringing awareness. And I can't validate or disprove any of the theories, so I'm just going to present them and put them out there, and I'm sure there'll be follow-up to it. Secondly, I'm going to use some of my notes because I want to be careful how I say things. There's some liability issues out there, and I want to be careful I'm not implicating anybody, so I want to be careful of how I word things. Several S21 owners have reported that on their condition report inspections after flying a short period, they have sheared prop bolts, and this is obviously a concern. A sheared prop bolt could be catastrophic. If your prop comes off, your engine could be yanked off your mount, and there's no gliding down after that. There are several theories out there to what this could be. I'm going to present the theories or mention them, and again, I'm not advocating or validating any or disproving any of them. The first is over torquing. Steve Cox was one of the flyers or owners that had the sheared bolts, and someone had mentioned that he over torqued. He validated that he did not over torque the bolts, and the fact that there's a commonality with the Whirlwind Props and the S21s would tell me that there's more of a coincidence. You know, I don't believe in coincidences, and there's more commonality in multiple flyers having the same issue. So I don't think it's the torquing, but that's one of the theories. Another theory has been presented is that the bolts were poor quality. I had a vendor, a prop accessory vendor, tell me that a batch of bolts that Whirlwind had were poor quality, and that even some of the replacements they were sending out had the same quality problems. He offered to sell me some bolts from his inventory, which I purchased at about $8 each. They were a little bit pricey, but I thought this was worth it. And then a second source had indicated on the forum that Whirlwind was not using AN bolts, and that sourcing these was fairly difficult. So there is some commonality between the bolts being the issue themselves. The third possible cause involves the spinner and the spinner plate. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The spinner plate that RANS provides, and I'll move over here. The spinner connects to this plate. This is a carbon fiber plate that goes in between the prop extension. These bolts aren't tightened because it's just on here temporarily. The spinner plate goes between the prop extension and the hub. So the issue is this is a carbon fiber plate that is actually used as a washer basically between these two metal parts. Some have said that the compression rate on carbon fiber is different than metal and shouldn't be used as a washer, that the unequal compression might create an imbalance and a wobble or something that might shear the bolt and put too much pressure on one of the bolts. RANS has responded that they feel this engineering design is fine and that this is not a problem, and they don't believe this is an issue. So I only present this as it's come up, so I can't validate or disprove that theory at all. There were a couple other interesting comments made and theories that I'm going to pass along involving this carbon fiber spinning plate. One of the theories is that the back of the plate, which is somewhat rough that you can see, is creating a powder and a dust. When Steve removed the spinner plate from his build, there was a lot of dust, carbon fiber dust on the extension, and people are thinking that the dust could get in there and create a grit, which actually wears down the bolt, and that the solution would be to wet sand this to a very smooth surface where it comes in contact with this extension. Possible. Another theory that came out, again, this is, you find it on the internet, is that this carbon fiber around each bolt acts like a little mini Dremel grinding wheel, and that the vibration and movement actually cuts the bolt by being a little carbon fiber wheel. Again, these are all comments and theories. I'm exposing all of them to you, just for thought. Steve Cox has reached out to Whirlwind for assistance, and as of this filming, he has not heard back from Whirlwind. Apparently, Whirlwind was sold to Hartzell, and so there's maybe some lack of accountability or who's responsible for responding. So Steve's a little concerned. He's going to ditch his Whirlwind prop, and he's going with a Kato prop. He's also removed the spinner plate, the spinner and the spinner plate for his flying right now, until he finds out exactly what's going on with this. I don't believe the FAA is involved at this point. Maybe they should be. But if you have any knowledge of this subject or have heard any updates, please feel free to post it on this channel here, and I'll update when I get more information. But for now, this is just what we've heard, or what I've heard, and I'm putting it out there for awareness. And if you have any thoughts, let me know. So thanks for watching, and fly safe.